We must get clarity about what life is, a clear understanding of the truth of life. Having experienced and seen this truth clearly, there can never be any doubt left. All illusion about life and all the situations, events, and challenges in our life will certainly and instantly disappear if we achieve clarity. And that clarity is the realization of the self, of the world, and the connection of the self in this world. This world is full of comings and goings. This world is full of entries and exits. This world is full of birth and death. And it's a continuous cycle, and it continues till we achieve this clarity. But clarity by itself be of no use unless you leave the illusion that has kept you caught in this endless cycle of birth and death till you practice living a life of clarity. Clarity is like an awakening. Not the awakening that we have when we wake up from sleep. Because every night we go back to sleep. So every morning is like a new birth. And every night when we sleep is like death. So in our lifetime, we actually live through thousands of births and thousands of deaths. Because in death, we are no longer conscious of the body, but you are still conscious of a reality. And when we wake up, we become conscious of another reality. And we go on continuing from where we left the night before. So the night before is like a past life. In the morning, you continue from where you left. And that's how the cycle of birth and death is. So in a way, we live these thousands of births in one lifetime. And thousands of times we die. So if a man lives 100 years of age, 365 days in a year, so a person lives through 36,500 births and deaths. We must ponder about this. That this waking up every morning is an opportunity for each one of us to live a new life and to awaken so that we never sleep again. To achieve that clarity and take responsibility and charge of our lives so that we can break this cycle and we never have to come back again. But that requires an understanding of what binds us, what makes us to come back again and again. And having understood it clearly, we have to live that life that will never, ever make us come back again. We have to break it here and now. We have to remove this delusion which makes us wake up again and again in a new body till we become one with this understanding, this reality of which we have always been a part of. But because we are in a state of sleep, because we are ignorant, we keep inflicting sorrow for ourselves and for people around us. Because if we are sorrowful everybody around us is going to be sorrowful. And we keep spreading this sorrow and this pain and this anger and this delusion and this unhappiness all across. We project fear, negativity, and we keep blaming the whole world. We blame it on others. We blame it on our relationships. We blame it on our society. We blame it on our country. We blame it on religion. We blame it on politicians. We blame it on God. We keep putting the blame all the time on everybody else and try to absolve ourselves from taking any blame, because we are just reacting to what's happening around us. And we keep living this whole life as a victim, as a sufferer, and we become part of this suffering, and we perpetuate this endless cycle of suffering and sorrow, and we forget that our real nature is actually love, is joy. And that is the reason why we keep coming back again and again to suffer and to spread negativity, because we've forgotten the truth of ourselves, that we are love and we are joy. Remember that we and only we individually are responsible for the reason that we are born. We have a human body, and we and only we are responsible for every situation and every relation that has come in our life. No one is to blame for anything that happens in our life. Not your husband, not your mother, not your father, not your children, not your in-laws. There is only one law that is uncompromising, that operates at all time, and that is the reason why we experience what we experience, and that is the law of karma. What we have done in the past will come in front of us. Whatever we are doing today is going to come in front of us. Man can forgive man, but karma has no forgiveness. Karma will extract all that we have done, knowingly or unknowingly. We have to face the consequences of our past actions. So all that is coming to you, all that is happening to you, no one else other than you yourself are to blame for it, or you are to enjoy it. If you are suffering, if you are unhappy, it's because of what you did in the past. And if you are in love and in joy, then it's also because what you did in the past. So stop blaming, start accepting, acknowledge, recognize, accept that only you and you are responsible for it. So stop shifting the problems that you are experiencing onto others. We project it on others because of our ignorance. And this ignorance is the reason why we come back again and again. And that is the clarity that we need to recognize, experience. And once we do recognize this clarity, and once we start to live in accordance with that, and once we take responsibility of our thoughts, our words and our action, because it's our words which create chasms, which create gaps, which create oceans of separation, which become difficult to bridge, and we have to come many times because the ocean is too vast, because the chasm we have created is too far to bridge. And if we realize it, we can bridge it in an instant. The bridge of love makes us cross over whenever we want to, provided we have the clarity, provided we take responsibility. Remember that when people do something to you that you don't like, instantly forgive. Accept them for who they are, knowing that they are operating out of their ignorance. As Jesus says, forgive them for they know not what they do. Accept them for who they are, divine beings living in ignorance, divine beings not knowing who they truly are. Why are they to blame? They are also suffering from the same law of karma, from their past actions. Have compassion on them. Accept them, embrace them, hug them, and love them. Because what they do to you today, they will have to undergo the results of what they are doing. Everybody. No one can escape it. You can't escape it. Your husband can't escape it. Your children cannot escape it. Your parents cannot escape it. This law is impartial, uncompromising, and it operates at all time. And it operates across every day and every night, every birth and every death. It just continues unless you understand it and you break it forever. That clarity is self-realization. That understanding that I am perpetuating this cycle by my ignorance, my stupidity. So stop blaming others. Wake up. Understand this is one opportunity for you to love the whole world selflessly, especially your own family members, and cross this ocean of ignorance, of this duality, of this stupidity that we have created. It's all a delusion. There is no need to suffer. There is no need to be unhappy. This is one opportunity to love. And do it for your sake. Do not do anything because you are caught in a relationship. We have to do what we have to do because that is who we are, not because of what we are forced to do. And how can there be any force in love? How can we be forced to love? Love is our nature. Love should flow from us at all times to everyone without any differentiation. Because when we know the divine nature of the self, and when we know that everyone is is of the same divine nature, is just ignorant, how can we not love? And as far as all the so-called wrong actions, evil actions that they do, they and they alone have to account for it. Why do we have to punish anybody? Why do we have to constantly be in the cycle of reaction, of giving an eye for an eye, of retribution, of revenge, of getting back? As long as we are caught in this samsara is endless. And the day we stop reacting and instead start loving, the cycle starts to break. The Lord does not operate on those who do not react. That's why the masters have said, when you stop reacting is when you realize yourself. Because you realize that if you react, you're digging your own grave and you're getting ready to come again, because you are perpetuating this cycle of action and reaction, and it is endless. Only you and you alone have the power to cut this cycle. But if you like this game and you want to play it again and again, and continue to react, continue to blame, continue to judge. But if you want to get out of it, then start loving. Start being who you truly are. Start being happy all the time. And laugh at all this is coming, because you are responsible for what's coming to you. That is when the true laughter comes. As you realize your stupidity of having so far lived our lives blaming others for your unhappiness and crediting all your achievements to your own self and all your happiness also to your doing. What a joke it is. What a trap it is. This is delusion. I want you all to wake up to this. Here is an opportunity for all of us to first love ourselves, to accept and take responsibility for our lives, and stop hiding and running away and putting it on others. And once we do, we'll really start living. The only devil that the Devi has come to kill is the devil of ignorance, of this stupidity that makes us go away from our divine reality into this world of blame, suffering, and unhappiness. And when we are caught in this cycle, we are operating truly from our mind, our bodies will always suffer. And when we awaken and we understand the truth that in this world there is no other, all we see as other is an illusion, because there is only the self, and all separation comes from duality. All separation comes from our wrong understanding. All separation comes from our seeing ourselves as separate from others. This world was only created for the self, by the self. And everybody else is actually a projection. Your husband, your wife, your children, your parents are nothing but a projection of your own past karma. And they're just doing the roles that your karma has allotted to them. Actually, no one allotted anything to them. You change, you realize, you become that love, everything will change. Because everyone is your projection. So if from today onwards you can stop forcing labels on others and take responsibility for your lives and for your actions, you can in this instant realize and change your reality. Choice is yours. Blame and suffer, forgive and love. These are the two choices. And one day you will realize how foolish we have been. We always had a choice. We always had a new beginning at the dawn of a new day. So if today you can understand it, and if you can take charge of your life and take responsibility of your thoughts, your words and action, because everything starts with a thought. Blame starts in a thought. And when we remain in that feeling of blame, that's how we speak. We find faults with others, we gossip. And that's what makes us react negatively to people. And we have our likes and dislikes. You see When we get together also, we like our own small groups. We are comfortable with a few people. We would always want to be with them. And that's again a trap. When we all start doing things together and not in our small groups, because small group mentality is a group mentality of constantly reinforcing our likes, our favorites, our dislikes. It's a pattern, and you can all experience what I'm saying, and we fall into it every day. You don't check them, it keeps reinforcing. If you don't have the ability to embrace everybody and love them equally, know that you're still creating karma. That's why we have ghettos. What is a ghetto? Where people come together bound by the sameness of ideas and beliefs. What are cults? What are castes? What is religion? What is country? It's all this ghettoization of man. And this must stop. We must create a place of love. We all melt without differences. We have to leave our comfort zones. We have to understand the divine nature of this universe, the perfection in consciousness. And everything that you like or you dislike, whether it's a banana or a chocolate, it is that same principle that you are reinforcing. So break all your patterns and see them for what they are and be liberated. And watch this drama, laugh at it, because this is a life given to awaken. This is awakening. When you start laughing at your stupidities, when you take control of your life, and when you realize, I am that unlimited, that infinite being, a being of love, a carrier of this energy of love. And once you get into it, it's magical. I hope in these days and nights, you can crush these demons and devils that have possessed you, that have bothered you in this lifetime and in previous lifetime, and you take responsibility of letting it go. No one can do it for you. No one can do it for you. Only you and you alone are responsible for all that is happening in your life, and only you and you alone can change the destiny of the future days and break free from this endless cycle of sorrow and suffering, joy and happiness, and this alternating duality, these contradictions of life that we face, and know that they are an aspect of the same consciousness, of the same one reality. And once we rise above, all this contradiction ends, all the duality merges, and there is only this ocean of love, and that is who we truly are. I bless you all that you experience this in this lifetime and you awaken, and may the Mother, the Divine Mother, the creator of this duality, she's the one who created this. When we celebrate her in these 9 days, we are actually should be asking her to bless us to get out of this duality, because she created this Maya. But we keep running after other things. We want to go to pandals, we want to go to temples, we want to eat prasadam, we want to do fasts, we want to, sing and chant her glory. But we don't ask her for what she's come to give. We're just still running in the outward forms, ignoring the real mother inside of us. We're so externally oriented. I love you all.